All right, all right, all right. Thank you patiently waiting for us to come on air. We're thankful and grateful that you have tapped in to Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station, amongst others. Please tap in, and if you're interested in your own broadcasting, please tap into us. But I want to thank you again. Um, the Eyes of the Conscious Soul comes to you every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. The first Saturday of the month is the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge. This is where we take out 15 to 45 minute segments called The Corner. The Corner has a blueprint that is unique of its own. So we always ask you to vibe out to fireside chats and be inspired by affirmations and inspirational messages. The first part of The Corner could be on the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge is the Artist Talk. We showcase musicians, poets, singers, dancers, film producers, authors, comedians, gospel and R&B rappers from around the Bay Area to across the globe. They share their creative process and their lived experience. The other part of The Corner could be Why I Dream. We highlight and honor inventions and creative work of today's brilliant minds, along with the geniuses from our past. We are preserving African American history and culture in order to keep the legacy alive. The other part of The Corner could be She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask. This is where you will hear from individuals sharing their personal testimonies to what the Lord has done and is doing in their lives, which is inspirational messages. We also highlight Golden Lights affirmation to impart healing medicine in the soil of the brilliant minds on today. The second Saturday of the month is the Medicine Hour with Mr. George Pearson. This is where we believe building a better tomorrow starts with us. Topics we cover: health issues and concerns, healthy eating habits, education, financing, and politics in the African American community. We believe taking care of our temple, mind, spirit is essential to having mental wellness, healthy thinking habits, and knowing that healthy thinking leads to a healthy way of living. Every third Saturday is the Medicine Hour with the host, founder, and producer of Education is the Best Medicine, is a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization, which is community-based, health, educational, advocacy-based, and resource-based organization that uses public media resources, radio, newspapers, and church-based community health fairs to provide information and education. We believe the vision is the art of seeing things yet unseen and bringing light to a very dark world. Every fourth Saturday of the month is the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show with my co-host, the Doc, the Voice, the Prince of Hearts, and Rosenity. So we come to you, and Kels, my brother Kels, my nephew Kels is a part of that program too. Well, we talk to individuals with real talk conversations, fireside chats conversations, to organizations, community leaders, business owners from around the Bay Area to across the globe. They talk about what they do in their actual community. Every fifth Sunday of the month, Lord have mercy, Saturday of the month, we have Voices That Care. That's where we highlight reentry and mental wellness. But today, you have tapped into the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge Artist Talk. Host Ms.Barbara Howard, aka Sistah Mellow, my co-host Brandon Rose, aka Rosenity. Yes. And then we have our guest in the house. Introduce the guest.
Yes. When I talk about hood scholars, this is exactly what I mean. Folks who come from marginalized communities that embodies levels of wisdom.
Yes.
Game, intelligence.
Come on, nephew. Let's go.
Using that to break barriers, bound to reclaim their narratives and control their destiny, refuse to be defined by the trauma or barriers present. choose to be defined by their resilience, by the resilience of their ancestors, their community, their culture. Honored to introduce today, Rhummanee Hung. Rhummanee, how are you?
Hi.
Oh
Thanks for
my
having
God.
me.
Okay. What an intro.
Right.
My God. Yes, yes, yes. But it's all of what he's saying is true. And that's what Rose and I and all of our other folks that's a part of our team, we are about bringing individuals like you and like others in the community that believe in what they're doing and why you believe. And as you believe, it shows up in your work. So we're so grateful and thankful to for you for being here.
I'm honored.
Yes. I guess we can start off beginning at your roots. Let's start at your roots. When did your family migrate and settle in Oakland? And what part of Oakland are you from? And why is that identity important to you now, especially considering Oakland's current environmental landscape?
So I am Khmer.
Khmer,
Ethnically Khmer, which means that my people are from Kampuchea. Kampuchea is how you actually say the name of what we now know as Cambodia. It just depends on who the people in power are and how they're pronunciating it. So for today, we can call it Cambodia. That's where my family are from. They came after what we refer to as the killing fields. It was an auto-genocide that occurred from 1975 to 1979 after the Vietnam War. And so my mom came in, I think, 1980. My dad came in 1981.
Before we get started,
okay,
we better stay, and that's why I'm choking over here because the ancestors like, are you tripping? Honor the people that came before us, and we want to honor your family. Say their names, grandma, grandpa, aunties, uncles, whomever you want to honor on today. That's why I'm over here joking because they like, wait a minute, get it right, sister. So we definitely want to hold them up in the space and bring their spirit in here with us. So we want to honor them. Please say their names so I can stop joking.
My mom likes to go by Rosenity. And so she came here first. She was the only person in her family to come to the United States. During that time, the family was just kind of scattered, and her journey of refuge just took her to a lot of different places. And eventually she found out that there was some family that was in Oakland, or some in-laws that was in Oakland, that ended up sponsoring her and my brothers to come to the States.
Now say her name and all of the family members' names if you like. That's what I'm saying. Bring them in the space.
Yeah, my mom's name is Rosenity. My oldest brother is Bisay.
Hey.
And my other brother is Bisad.
Because I want them to say, look, now you done got on the radio show, ain't said nothing about us, ain't lift us up, ain't said nothing, but go ahead.
Yeah, so they were the first to come to, or when they came to Oakland, they pretty much just stayed here because there was a small community and growing community here already. And anybody in the Bay Area, that was here in the 80s will probably know of different pockets where there were like lots of Southeast Asian refugees, either from Cambodia or from Laos or from Vietnam. And that was a big resettlement, a big time for resettlement.
Well, it's important we need to make sure that the people that know their history and know who they are and where they come from to be able to come in and share. You know, it can't nobody tell it better than you can tell it. Yeah. You know, and that's what we honor.
Excuse me. So you coming from a very rich culture, very rich lineage, folks that were resilient through the genocide, coming to the U.S. and having to channel healing, right? And then knowing you as an artist as well, and having that creative expression and combating that intergenerational trauma and having to tap into that creative expression. At what point did you realize art or dancing was your gift, that tool for you to embody, to express, to reclaim, to liberate?
I don't know if I knew right away, like when art came into my life that it had a purpose for me.
Here we go.
I remember being in the 3rd grade, and my teacher told us that there was a program after school happening, and
That's
that there was going to be,
goes.
you know,
that's the purpose. The purpose guiding you along the way,
right,
nudging you over here,
right.
You know.
So I don't know what prompted her decision. I don't.
She seen something in you. She did.
And what's her name? It was only like Miss Harrell.
Miss Harrell, thank you.
I last ran into her like recently. She's still in the Bay Area because I saw her at Costco like maybe a couple of years ago.
Right on.
But she picked 3 or 4 of us. I think that was how many people that she could choose. But I ended up going to that after school program, and this after school program is the Destiny Arts Center.
That's why we need programs like that.
Yes, absolutely.
That's and I believe programs like Destiny Arts, like BH Bring Your Minds, and like HHREC, the Downtown Tape, is to when you get in those spaces, then you like, they start to nurture you and your purpose. Yep. So, and then you may not see it or think it at that particular time, but because that's what we're basically saying to the community, that we cannot get away or get rid of the arts. Right. We need it.
Right.
Because that's what helps our children, yep. and guiding them within their purpose. So
yeah. And I was 8 at that time. I was 8 years old, and all I wanted to do was dance and martial arts that they introduced us to.
Which is dancing. I think it's a form of dancing.
It's definitely a martial art. It's an art for sure. Yeah. Yes. And so I did that for the 2 years that they were at that elementary school. It's no longer open in Oakland, but that's besides the point. They were there for 2 years, and I was in that program for 2 years. They actually had a scholarship that they gave to each student at the end of it to say that you can come to our center. Wow. And I didn't use that scholarship until maybe 4 years later. I was in the 8th grade.
At the right time.
I was in the 8th grade looking for something, or about to start 8th grade, looking for something to do over the summer. And I was like, oh, I have this, and went to see if it was still valid, and it was. And then ended up taking dance classes there for a few months, and I learned about the Destiny Arts Youth Performance Company.
Beautiful.
And then one of the teachers said, you should audition for the company. You want to
bring her spirit into the space and say thank you to her?
Thank you. Yeah. And I'm trying to remember which teachers it was.
Like, girl.
It wasn't Sarah. Sarah was my teacher in when I was 8 and 9. And is currently still a mentor to me. But someone suggested that I should audition, and I did. And I got in. And that year was the first year that I was a part of anything like that. It is the Destiny Arts Youth Performance Company we put together our own dance pieces, and write the script. There's like a whole script writing group that happened when I was in it, when that happened weekly. And at the end of it in the spring, there's a full length production. Like basically a profession. They would hire lighting people, they would hire sound people, there was a videographer, and a whole tech week, and put on a performance. What ended up being like a one weekend production, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By the time I left, happened. It started happening over 2 weeks, so it grew, and it was very popular at that time. But yeah, I agree. It says a lot to what gets invested when you're a young person, what you can get exposed to.
That right there.
Because when I was 8, I mean, like, life could have happened a lot of different ways.
Absolutely.
And it did for a lot of people that was that I was around.
For me too.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that.
and so when these opportunities for like alternative spaces, these spaces, where you can get to be creative, where you can just be, with other young people, and
finding who you are.
Yep, finding who you are for sure, especially in that space, because it was also a space that gave me a lot of language to talk about the things that I was experiencing.
That's right. A voice. It gave a voice.
Yeah, because I don't feel like I'm typically good with words unless I'm like writing it down,
right,
or something like that. Look, I can dance it out, maybe, I can act it out.
But everybody has. I was just talking about this morning, and I'm gonna let you guys go with this. Everybody has their lane.
Yeah,
and I this is one thing that people know about me. If it ain't my lane, and it don't work for me. Y'all do that part because that's not my expertise. That's not my area. But what I wanted people to understand is it's nothing wrong with that. Saying that's not your lane. Let somebody else. That's their gift. Let them work in their gift. And that's how we come together.
Yeah.
We compromise, we collaborate. Those are the type of things. What's important to me is that if it's not your lane, it's okay.
It really is.
And getting kids and getting them to understand that. Because right now they're dealing with that, that they're better than me because I can't do this. No, that's just not what you do.
Right.
That's not your lane, and it's okay. So then practice and make it better. But however, let somebody else over there, we work together. That's not your strength. Let me help you over there, and vice versa.
Right.
And that's one thing that we have to bring back to our kids.
We do.
This competition mess. That's why we got into this killing and stuff.
This is the idea of the village, right? It's like this is the idea of the village, because not everybody has to do everything, and we're not supposed to do it by ourselves. Really, everyone does have a lane, everybody does have a role, and we need to figure out how to work together to accomplish whatever it is that we're trying to do. Not all of us are healers, not all of us are artists, not all of us are educators, but someone is.
And when you in your lane, that's not your lane, you do more harm than good.
Yes,
that's what I believe. So that's why I don't want to do any harm. So it's like, hey, or creating or thinking of that particular piece. That's just not what I do. Let somebody's gift, like you just said, let them do it. And that's the village. Get back to the village.
Right.
We don't went so far.
Far.
Oh my God. But that's why it's people like you, like Rose, like myself, and like others that we have on the show come in, and we are representing the village. We are doing our part.
Yeah.
And we're just asking others, just not competition, but collaborate with us people. That's all.
With you being exposed to that artistry and that creativity at a young age, you're also still growing, right? And you're also still going through lived experiences, right?
Yes.
So thinking about just the time when your family migrated here and the experiences they went through, and then also navigating a city like Oakland that has its own challenges, right? As you grew older, how was that art form utilized, and how did that become a tool for you to kind of navigate both realities that you were going through?
Okay, you can totally re-ask certain parts because I'm gonna
get y'all. Okay, we will do that. We have no problem.
So my family came here, as I mentioned, in the early 80s. And if you hear in the early 80s, in any major city, but particularly in California, we're talking about the crack epidemic.
Yes, and I was a part of that.
And this is, after the Black Power movement, you have the crack epidemic, which, was terrorizing our communities. And in Oakland, this is what we're dealing with. And so now people are dealing with this issue. And then there's an influx of newer people who are also needing resources and things like that. And what ends up happening is that maybe people are pitted against each other.
They are.
The scarcity mindset, right?
Keep it real. They are.
This is the reality of the folks that were growing up at this time. And so what the art was able to do for me was able to kind of recognize that. And like I said, be able to name it and like see some of these systems.
Yeah.
That like how they're working or how they get perpetuated. Um,
You know, and through what just came to my mind when you said that, I can see you using that tool, that movement, that dance to let that be the voice of what you are expressing it and the experiences that people have went through.
mhm.
So that's the power to me of art, is that it gives you that comfort, it gives you that reality, and it gives you the freedom to be able to go there. And that's what society doesn't want us to do, because they don't want us to tap in to that human heart of who we really are as a people.
Right.
You know, so but the arts and the movement, the singing, the dancing, all of that, it gives you, the soul is free. The soul is able to speak. And that's basically what I was trying to say, is the soul is speaking.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful thing to see, because you can see somebody dancing and you be like, oh, that's on a whole nother level. That's not like ordinary, like, oh, I'm just no.
Yeah.
You can see the soul, the spirit in alignment. Oh my God, and how powerful. It's a healing tool too.
It is a healing tool.
It is healing. Go ahead.
Oh, did you want to add on to that?
No.
Cool. You're at AYPAL. You're co-director there, but you've also just been involved in community for a very long time, for the past decade or so, right? You've been a part of many spaces, been a part of many type of movement spaces, and you've played a role in different ways with your leadership, right? With your leadership as an organizer, as a powerful brown woman, right?
Yeah.
And you're constantly challenging just different barriers that continue to try to suppress your voice, right? What inspired or enlightened you to be the healer and educator that you are today? When was that moment that clicked for you that you knew you had to become someone that can give back to the community in this kind of life?
I feel like I can talk about different moments where some of that started to.
It's
like
your show,
unravel.
baby. It's you.
That's
you
what it's
share what
reminding
you
us.
want to share. Go ahead.
I feel like the this is not in any order either. The for sure becoming a mom was one of the
How many children?
I have one. I have one son. Nadat. His name is Nadat. It means great strength, or very powerful.
Wow.
And
Beautiful.
He's 8 years old.
Yeah. Around the same age you were when they told you.
That's right.
They shared to like nudge you to go over this way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 8 years old. So that whole experience was one of the ways that I really leaned into it. It radicalized me in a different way. I feel like even though I was already in and doing community work, like becoming a mom, really changed up a lot of other things. I think that that's on the healing part. One, because I actually opted to have a home birth. It was a planned home birth. And that experience just taught me a lot more about care and how we care for each other and how to show up for each other. I had two midwives who were working with me, and then one of the midwives' daughters was also there and attended the birth, and she herself, had her her role, which was essentially keeping me hydrated.
Yes. But she, again, back to the role.
Right.
She had a role.
in
the
7.
village. At 7. Come on up in here now. At 7 years old. And that's what we also always talk about, the intergenerational. The role is huge on that. It's the intergenerational. Everybody has a role. The youth have a role. And why are we not putting them in the roles that they're supposed to be in?
And then, it was at the same time that I was pregnant. I actually went to my OB at Kaiser as well, just because I think it made other people feel better. I didn't necessarily think that it was better for me, but also I liked her, because when I told her, she didn't make me feel any. When I told her that I was having a planned home birth, she didn't make me feel any type of way. Like, I hope not.
And that's
she was,
good.
That is good, because
good.
she was.
That's
like,
a healer.
Yes,
Whatever
for sure.
alternative way you want to heal, and it's like, it's not a cookie cutter putting us in different ways to heal.
Yeah.
No, everybody has a different way. So the Western society puts it in a cookie cutter. Oh, you heal this way. No, we don't.
Right.
Our ancestors didn't heal that way, and we don't heal that way either.
Right.
Oh, matter of fact, excuse me. Thank you. And Black History. Happy Black History Month.
Yes.
Go ahead. Jesus, this is in honor of that. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, one of my midwives talks a lot about the village, and brings a lot of Black midwifery into the education that she provides in this country.
Beautiful.
Or not the education she provides in this country, but just understanding the history of all of that in this country. And has taught me a lot. My appointments at Kaiser were 15 minutes, they in and out.
See?
And then my midwifery appointments, the first 15 minutes was essentially the same thing. And then the rest of the time, though, we talked about breastfeeding. We talked about what was going to be happening with my body. We talked about how to rest afterwards. We talked about what your community, what your community, what your village is going to look like. After you give birth, because the pregnancy and the delivery it doesn't end. That's literally just the first 10 months of this journey.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that whole experience really opened my eyes into the ways that we can care and show up for each other, which had me lean into a lot of that practice as well. I'm not interested in becoming a midwife, but I do provide postpartum care, or advice, support, whatever is needed. Not for real, just because if and when I can.
Right.
Yeah.
I will call it the movement of care. The movement of care.
Yeah.
And today's theme is liberation through movement. Yeah. So different types of movement. We've been in movements all of our lives. Our ancestors been in movements. We just the next part of that movement. I tell people all the time, and we always talk about it, is that they did their role, they did their part, and they're like, now we done passed it down to y'all. Now y'all do your part.
Right.
And then again, stay in your lane, do your part. Don't do no harm. Just do what you're supposed to do. Carry it on. Because if we leave it up to these people,
it's never in our best interest.
Thank you. So we need to take back the reins. We need to take it back. Right. And the village is taking it back.
Yeah. We have to learn these things. We have to listen to our elders.
Yeah.
and the stories and wisdom that they have to share. Yeah. Because that was, passed on to them too. This knowledge is kept from us for a reason.
Come on.
It doesn't benefit these structures for us to know these things about how to show up for each other and how to care for each other.
That is the honest truth.
Yes, thank you.
Real quick, you mentioned the educator part too.
Yeah, I was just about to get it.
I don't forget.
That's what it's about. It's like, wait a minute, hold on, add this on up in there. But that's how we tag team and we work, and this is collaboration. Yeah. And this is an example of what we're saying.
Yeah,
is that if in conversation, if I forgot something, then the other person's like, or go back, or hey, you forgot to say this, or add this in, or whatever. But if we don't have conversations, we will never know.
Collective dialogue.
Come on, let's go, nephew.
Right.
Say that again.
Collective dialogue.
Collective dialogue. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what's missing. When you have these phones, you don't have collective dialogue anymore. You don't.
No.
And there it is. That's a liberation of movement.
Yeah.
Collective dialogue.
It happens in movement spaces too, though.
Come on.
With we love to be we love to be accommodating and whatnot, but also there's a move towards a lot of people working from home, which I understand and provides a lot of flexibility. But what you end up losing is these collective dialogue.
So, yeah.
That just happens randomly, like at the office or whatever, when we're in community with each other.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But the education piece.
Yeah.
I actually, so I was in college at UC Davis, and in 2008, I remember that years prior, the Cambodian community was affected by a repatriation agreement, which means that Cambodia and the U.S. entered an agreement to basically say, if we want to deport these people, Cambodia, will you take them in? And so that was the agreement. And it didn't have like a date on it. It didn't matter that you came here as a refugee because the U.S. was bombing the countryside. It didn't matter. In 2008, Vietnam and the U.S. entered a similar agreement. And so there was a lot of like action within the Southeast Asian community. When I say Southeast Asian, I always use the apolitical definition, and I always mean,
and please do.
And I have to explain that. And so I mean,
do.
when I say Southeast Asian American, I'm talking about Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. These are the three countries that were colonized by France before that, and then have a very specific experience of refuge and resettlement in the U.S.
Wow.
I don't mean geographically. Geographically doesn't matter to me right now. And so the Southeast Asian community saw that this was going to be an issue, and that there were so many other people that could be deported at that time. And so there was a lot of movement, a lot of organizing that happened on college campuses during that time around that specific issue. And I thought about going to law school at that time because of everything that was happening. But then I was like, nah, I want to help people before they would need a lawyer.
Right. Intervention.
Yeah. And this is also the knowing your role thing. I was like, I don't think I want to do this.
Right. Because so many people go to school for certain things.
Because
it's like,
they
don't
that's what
even
you're supposed to do. Right.
And it's like, afterwards, like, you got the degree in what? And you're not using it at all.
Yeah.
So it's like being intentional. You know, that's what we want to make sure that our kids, and as we guide them and as we move them forward, don't have them do what you want them to do. Find what they want to do, or what they're good in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's just a waste of time, because all of the knowledge is good.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
All lessons.
Don't get me wrong. All lessons, exactly. But however, the village helps us shape and move them towards what they really want to do, versus like, oh, you gotta. No.
Yeah, I was particularly drawn to education, but
because you know what, you lit up when you like come back over when you said education. You like, oh wait.
That was a whole journey in itself.
Hey, that's it. That's the lived experience. That's your story. So that's the beautiful thing. As you're sharing the story about your people, you're still sharing the story about you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, to me, this is what our shows is about. That's why it's called The Eyes of the Conscious Soul, because it's about you. It's not about others. It's about others, but we're here. We're bringing you in. We want to honor you. We're honoring you on today, your life, the things you've been through. And we want you in this space. We hold in that space because we just saying we thank you and appreciate all of what you've been through and all of what you're doing now. You know, so one thing before I go, Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational gospel music station among others. Please tap in every Saturday or 24 hours a day. But every first Saturday of the month, the Eyes of the Conscious Soul brings to you Cafe Le Blue Lounge, Artist Talk, Why I Dream, She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask. And that is with my co-host, no other than my nephew, Rosenity. Rosenity. And with that, we have the second Saturday of the month, which is the Medicine Hour. And that is with Mr. George Pearson every third Saturday of the month. is with Mr. George Pearson again. That's Education is the Best Medicine. Every fourth Saturday of the month, we have the Lights Out, Straight Talk, Youth and Young Adult radio show, and that is with my co-host, Mr. Rosenity, and Kale's Prince of Hearts, the Doc, and the Voice. So with that, every fifth Saturday is Voices That Care, and we highlight reentry and mental wellness. And I host that one myself along with other co-hosts. So again, you have tapped into the Eyes of the Conscious Soul on Believe Radio, and today's theme is liberation through movement. And say your name again, nephew.
Rosenity.
Rosenity, and put it out. We want to say kudos to you because you're getting ready to graduate from where?
Oh, yeah, Cal.
Cal. Hey. Say that again.
Cal, UC Berkeley, Masters and then Doctorate's next.
Say it again.
Masters and then Doctorate next.
Yay.
For sure,
Okay.
for
For sure. And then now you're gonna please give us the name. I have the acronym.
The organization.
Yes.
I work at AYPAL. I'm co-director at AYPAL. AYPAL used to be an acronym.
Okay.
There is a tagline. So what we do is we build API community power.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yay. Okay.
We work primarily with young people. Most of the youth are in high school, around youth organizing and movement building. And a lot of the work that we do is guided through, or we use a lot of art activism.
Beautiful.
To do the work that we do.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
So when I was in 2008, the reason why I was thinking about, in addition to the repatriation agreement with Vietnam being signed, my brother, not that long before that, got into some trouble. He went to jail for some drug convictions, and it made him deportable. At that time. And so yeah, there was a lot of organizing that happened in 2008. Well, by the time that I finished college, I actually applied to a school of education at Sac State. I got in, and then like the month before, I was like, I don't want to be in the classroom.
Right. You want to be in community.
I did. And so I didn't.
You made that choice.
It's
your life.
I made that choice because I was like, I can't justify, like my heart's not in it to be in the classroom this way. I already know that I don't even agree with the education, what's happening in the education system necessarily for me to like be in it like that and try to change it from, as a teacher. And so I did my thing in the community for a little while, for a couple of years. I did decide to go back to grad school, and I signed up, or I applied to a School of Education program again, but it wasn't like a credentialing program.
Got it.
And that really helped aid, I think, what I'm currently doing now. In terms of like actually being in community, figuring out curriculum building a little bit like outside of AYPAL, things like that.
Well, because we want to bring in all of what you do, AYPAL and the other stuff that you do in community. So we want to highlight that too.
Yeah, that's. Thank you for touching on that journey. I think sometimes we forget that community are experts in creating solutions and interventions that can help change our community.
Let's go.
Right? And oftentimes we depend on folks on the outside to come in and save us, right? But all along, the experts it was born in us, right? That solution and that drive, that wisdom, right? And Rhummanee is an example of that, right? So wanting to be involved in the community a bit more, but also being on the front lines, being around other leaders and absorbing all of that, right? And I've been honored to share space with Rhummanee in different settings. And in those settings, she talked about her ethnic history, her ethnic identity. You talk about your cultural roots. Can you share some of the cultural practices that help you stay grounded to who you are, to your true identities, to your sacred identities? What are some of those cultural practices?
This morning I just came from a ceremony.
Actually. Beautiful.
it is beautiful. A little sad, but it is beautiful. The ceremony is called 100 Day.
100 Day.
100 Day ceremony, and it happens 100 days after someone's funeral, after someone dies, actually.
Okay.
And so that is where I just came from. I think that learning more about how Buddhism fits into my life helps me stay grounded, helps me stay connected to my roots, and helps me make sense of things. I also, in conjunction with that, a little bit is my dance practice. I was dancing, as I mentioned, since I was like 14. That's over 20 years ago.
Okay.
Off and on. I had an off and on relationship. Didn't really do much of it in my 20s.
Right.
At all. But more recently, like since I've incorporated a dance practice in my life, more recently I've also started doing Khmer classical dance.
Okay.
And that has been also grounding for me. There's a lot of when you understand like actually what's happening with the movements and understanding like what people are saying in the songs. The language piece is so important. And not many of us, like the second generation who are here or the third generation Americans that are here, understand enough of it to have like a closer connection. But thankfully my mom was like really adamant about me trying to use Khmer, speak Khmer, especially at home. And then I had a job that like kind of required me to be an interpreter for a lot of the clients that was there. So I got to practice a lot. And that practice and that connection also keeps me grounded and close to my roots, because I cannot only have the colonizer's language to explain like what my reality is and the things that I'm going through, right? There's certain things that there's no meaning for in Khmer because it's not a Khmer concept to understand like what racism is. You know what I mean? And leaning into Khmer, or leaning into the dance and understanding Khmer, it helps me with just understanding how we can like see each other. There's a certain respect that you have for like teachers, especially in Khmer culture. Like we hold anybody who's a teacher to high regard, and that can mean anything. Like your parents are your first teachers, you know, but that there's a deep respect for that. And in this case, it's a pretty special space in this particular dance troupe. This is the Khmer Amathat dance troupe.
Are they local?
They are local to Oakland.
How can people get in contact with them? Because we're talking about liberation through movement, so it's just not the beauty about what I love about what we do is that it's just not my culture that I can learn about and be a part of. It's others too, and that's what makes us, to me, fulfilling. Being a human being, is that I learn about yours. And yours is not better than mine. Mine's not better than yours. But the beauty of knowing seeing each other, you know, and being a part of that, just being in this space, even if I'm African American, even if I'm in the space, I can still feel the love, feel the what's supposed to be honored. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to be able to be a part of.
Right.
And that's why it's important to take the children to different events. You know, for they can get a deeper understanding.
And there's so many young people in that particular troupe, which I love to see. Like my son doesn't have I don't think that there's anybody who I met that is Khmer at his school right now. And so when he gets in that space and there's like other 8-year-old boys that, you know, that can kind of relate to him. It's beautiful.
Like,
I'm like,
that's rich.
So he dances with me in that dance troupe.
it's intergenerational. We talking about
That space
okay?
is not even meant for me. It's really like a youth group.
But
I,
the intergenerational, it is a part. But I get what you're saying. But however, you still nurturing it.
yes.
You know, by you being there, your lived experience.
Yeah.
And then the youth are seeing you do it, and it's like, oh, I can do this too. You know.
Yeah.
That to me, that's beauty. That's love. That's like. That's rich.
Yeah. And what's even more special about that space in particular is that the teacher, the person that's leading it, her name is Morakat.
Morakat?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful. You
said it perfect.
You did. It means emerald.
Emerald. Oh.
Yeah, it means emerald.
Oh
Morakat.
my God. If we could get back to names, beautiful naming.
You know what?
Things is going to be, that's the key.
The key.
Naming the richness of who you are. Girl, go ahead.
Okay, I got something to say about names. Let me get back to Morakat. So Morakat I met when she was 15 years old, and this was in 2019.
Wow.
In 2019, there was a big ice raid in Oakland, in the Bay Area, particularly in Oakland.
And you said back when?
2019.
2019, and here we go in 2026, and here we go again.
I mean, it never, you know, it's just that some people
thinking it's new.
People think it's new because it didn't affect them the same way necessarily. You know, it for sure disrupted our lives for some decades. Since we've been here. But 2019 there was a raid, so I mentioned that my brother was deportable back in like 2007, 2008, something like that. So he had been living his life for several years before ICE picked him up, essentially, him and several other people in Oakland and San Francisco. That was where I met her. Okay. Her father was actually one of the people that was also picked up during that time. And in the place that I was working at that time, it affected our community because it affected that particular community because there were people who were clients who also had like either a nephew or son or somebody in their family was also affected. And so we had realized very quickly that that there was going to be something was going to happen. So there were campaigns to get everybody free. My brother got his conviction vacated. So did her father.
Praise God.
They're home and they're safe.
Praise the Lord. Okay.
And I watched her though at 15 advocating for her father. You know, like this is something that I'm around rallying.
Yes.
It's very, very much so. Like I'd been around rallies and things like that, but for me to be on that side of it, and then also seeing like a young person on that side of it with me and doing what she was doing, I was like, this is. I already knew that she was like an amazing individual. And so when she started this troop with her siblings, I was like, hey niece. I'm just gonna come if that's all right.
But that's how the village works.
Right.
You know, that's the beauty of the village. It's like you have an event and like, oh, I'm coming through and it's good. It's all good. But go ahead.
Yeah, it was. She was like, sure, come. And I did, and I've been training with them since.
Wow.
When I realized that they had it was just like any age group, I was like, all right, my son's gonna come too. So that is beautiful. So it's a really special space, I feel like.
And we need sacred spaces.
Yes.
We need spaces for us to be liberation.
Yeah.
Liberation.
Yes.
That's healing. You know, we're talking about, and there it is, that language of movement.
Yeah.
You know, that art of movement.
There
and that's what they try to take away from us.
Yes.
Because we got rhythm.
Yeah.
And I'm you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that's what, when you take that out, that loses, to me, that's a part of the soul. And when you take that richness out of the soul, then what do you have?
Right.
You have what you have now. It's all boring.
You're just a robot.
And you just
You're
just a robot. And that's what they're trying to do, is make us into robot. And I tell people this all the time. I may get in trouble for this, but check this out. A robot, they ain't got to pay for health care.
Right.
they can just take the part off the arm, put it back on. So what do you think they're trying to do with humans? They're trying to get rid of people. Folks think I'm crazy, but it's like, believe me not, you see a lot of they don't need you.
Yeah.
And I was telling people, I said, now if they did it to the Bay Bridge and they took away the folks that was taking the money, and now all of a sudden you can, what you thinking about over here?
Right.
You can't tell me what the mindset of what's really going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got a clue, but it's like, look at here, because they don't have to. They can replace you. You're replaceable.
Like, arts and culture organizations are so important, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Right, like we live in a world where young people have access to so much in their devices that
yes.
it strips away their identity.
Come on. Yeah, and their imagination.
Their imagination, their creativity, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're so smart. Like folks these days, they're so smart. And it's a lot of filtering that I feel like they have to do because they're bombarded with so much of this information that that folks are not able to necessarily place themselves in understanding like where they fit into all of this or where their power is and all of this.
Where their power is. And that's my thing. It is nothing wrong with looking at social, but when you're strolling on there for hours, do you know you could be creating? You can start your own business. That's what they made it psychologically for you to do just that. But you got to know this, and then that you know it, even hey, then start. I may be on here for a few minutes, but I'm about to start creating stuff myself. And then you're on there, and then you're looking at what other people are doing, and you're not doing it, and then you feel as though you don't have anything or you're not anybody. Right. That's the only piece that I like, man, it's so disturbing to me.
And Auntie, you've been around the town for a very long time. You've seen and you've been exposed to different cultures, right? You came to a couple of Dreams Arts events and you've seen the diverse, the diversity in the kids and how they represent their culture. Rhummanee is at an arts and activism Southeast Asian Pacific Islander organization, right? Working with young people. We're talking about culture, right?
Yes.
Talk about how, if you can, just the importance of what AYPAL is doing to preserve cultural arts for the Southeast Asian Pacific Islander students, and the brilliance of the young people in playing a part in preserving that as well.
So AYPAL has a couple of events every year, but the biggest one that we have is the May Arts Festival.
And that's the one I went to.
Yeah.
I went to it. Yes.
Nice.
I was in there. They were like, who is this lady? Like, but they were all like, okay.
I love that. The May Arts Festival happens in May, which coincides, coming up. And it coincides with, it's both the end of the year, like something, and then it's also API Heritage Month. We, leading up to it, at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the year, a lot of the youth are given a lot of foundational things and understanding theory and concepts and like a lot of organizing history, Oakland history. A lot of political education happens on the front end, and then we move into art practices. The youth get to choose what they're interested in, and so this year, for the first time, I think that we're finding Mongolian dance teachers because we have some Mongolian students this year. Historically, there's in like the Southeast Asian program, there's always been Khmer, Cambodian kids, and so people will be interested in doing some type of like cultural dance there. So it's an opportunity for the young people in our space, or the young people that come to our space, to engage in an art form that they might not have access to typically.
Right.
Because I grew up in North Oakland. Like there were not a lot of other Asian, let alone Khmer, Cambodian families or programs that, like specific to that community. And I couldn't get downtown or Chinatown or wherever AYPAL was holding program to do that. AYPAL had been around that long. But it's an opportunity for youth to come into the space to do dance, and cultural also doesn't necessarily mean cultural to their homelands. We also have hip hop dance. We also do spoken word. There are some years there might be guerrilla theater to
yes.
talk about like a campaign that we're working on, or like to put on a skit about something that they might be dealing with, whether it's like mental health or family, like intergenerational things. Right. And so that's an opportunity for them to empower themselves and say, this is actually what we want to learn about, which is the basis of the information that, or the not information, but the curriculum that we have is ethnic studies based. The programming that we have is ethnic studies based. And so this adds to that, you know, in terms of what you wouldn't typically get in school. This is also education.
And that's the piece.
And that's what I wanted to do, right? I was like, I don't want to be in the schools. I want to be out here and do education this way.
Yes, that is it right there. Yeah. And then your art program,
Dreams Arts.
Oh my God. When we did that event at Laney College, the art with those, it was absolutely amazing. I'm telling you, people, we can't get rid of the arts.
Yeah.
No.
We lose the arts, we lose us.
And it's what you mentioned earlier,
true.
right? Like exposure.
Exposure.
Right? Like you can't live in a city as beautiful and diverse as
Oakland on now, nephew.
And not know who your neighbors are. Right.
Say that again.
You can't live in Oakland and not know what a Tongan is, what a
Pound business,
right?
Cambodian is. Like we are all neighbors living in the same city.
Yes, we are,
Mm-hmm.
So, and we relatives. We're family.
Relatives, right? We go to the same stores to shop.
Come on now.
We see each other on the streets, right? Like it's a way for us to humanize each other, have collective dialogue.
That's what I'm talking about.
Be able to see each other beyond just the pain and suffering that that's publicized or put on media, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, definitely.
And it's so and creating is so powerful.
Yes.
You know, like it's coming. This is a gift
from
to
your mind
to be able to create something. Like how spiritual is that?
Yes. And I tell people all the time, this society wants you to lose your imagination. Now they want you to be a consumer.
Right.
They gonna use their imagination to build it or create it and make it, and then they just want you to just be a part of. No. And that's why we used to tell my students, like, you don't understand. Don't let them take that from you.
Yeah.
Don't let them take your imagination. That's how things are created.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
You lose that, you lose you.
Yeah.
You know, because your imagination, you can close your eyes, you see yourself doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you can use your imagination is so powerful. Your mind.
Yeah.
Your mind is the key.
Yeah.
So, but go ahead.
How much time we got?
We have like 10 minutes.
Okay. I'll ask one more question and then we can pretty much freestyle from there.
Okay.
Like many refugee families that come to the US, right? They come to America for opportunity, for freedom, right? In what ways have your family become influenced by that dream, right?
It's beautiful.
And in what ways have it become achievable? Was it achievable? If not, what does that dream look like for you now, for your family now in America?
So my family came because we had to come. It wasn't really a choice.
Got it.
The US was bombing the countryside. Like there was this whole secret bombing campaign.
Wow.
And which really destabilized the country. Which led to, you know, everything else that unfolded, the genocide, the civil war after. It just wasn't safe, and my mom had an opportunity, and she didn't know what else to go back to at that point. So there was an opportunity to come here, and I think that coming here, growing up, you're fed a lot of ideas about like the American dream, going to college, owning a house, things like that. Maybe becoming a doctor or a lawyer, you know, these are the types of things. And I understand where it's coming from now.
Right.
Our parents are just wanting us to be okay. And I can't imagine what coming here in the 80s, coming to Oakland in the 80s without any access to You know, like I don't know what your living situation was
Yeah.
like. My mom told me there would be like 2-3 families in a 1-bedroom
Yes.
apartment sometimes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Everybody was on welfare. Nobody spoke English.
Mhm.
You know, these are systems that
But
they
you
had
was
to
together.
navigate. Yeah.
And that's what people today, it's like, you got this great big old house. You the only one living in it.
Right.
Right.
Don't make sense.
Don't make sense.
For one person.
For one person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was just talking about that yesterday. It's like the beauty of being able to, even though the situation happened, but we can still then come back together once you done got things together to
Yeah.
still live together.
Yeah.
And everybody help each other.
People were.
That's the village.
Yeah. They were in close. People were living in close enough proximity to each other to be able to do that. You know.
And where you needed help, the person was right there to assist.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, if you had grandma, great grandma, whomever the kids, you know, you have to go and take the kids out to the $2,000 a week.
Yeah,
for
it's
childcare.
wild. It's wild.
My daughter, I said, I said, excuse me, it costs what? I was
Like,
like, whoa,
yeah.
that's crazy.
That's
the mortgage.
Yeah, right. Western culture has definitely like undone a lot of the things that would actually be helpful, a lot of the practices that would actually be helpful.
And that's what I'm basically saying is the practices, us being able to come together like we used to and like our ancestors did. You know, in times of need,
right?
Where I see you, we here together,
right?
And we're gonna rock this thing together. We're gonna make it together,
right?
I'm not gonna leave you or the vice. Well, no, I got to. No, together.
Yeah. My understanding about all that really has shaped how I like what the dream is for me now, because I mean obviously I didn't go to law school, you know.
That's all right. You still doing law,
right?
You still doing law.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
And I'm an educator in the way that I want,
and
to
that's
be
your
an
law,
educator, right?
Okay, that's the law. You teach it, educating
so,
through movement.
Mm-hmm. I leaned into the whole like birthing at home thing, even though people in my family that were like, but we're in America.
Right.
I'm like, so how was you born? You know?
And that's the beauty, going back to think that that's okay.
Yeah.
That got you so up in your mind is that, no, that's not the way. Yeah, it is the way.
Right.
You know, but hey.
Yeah. And so the dream, what it's supposed to look like for me now has definitely changed.
Yeah.
In terms of what, and not changed. I don't know if I ever bought into whatever that American dream was, but I understand where it's coming from. And I also understand that there's always another way.
That right there. There's always another way.
There's always another way.
Yeah.
And final question, as creators, as innovators, as geniuses, right? As people who channel our ancestral wisdom, right? That built pyramids, right?
Come on now,
that built monuments that
were nephew.
Divine, right? That were scholars before.
Yes, we
academia shaped what scholarism is today, right?
Shaped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Indigenous knowledge, right? Indigenous wisdom. Thinking about all of that, right? Like, what's next for you? Like you've channeled a lot of that energy and that wisdom, and you've lived it, right? You've become that healer and educator that you wanted to be. But what does that next journey for Rhummanee look like in the next 5 to 10 years?
As it's still unfolding, and as I'm still learning about myself, I'm learning that I'm kind of one of those people that's kind of like a bridge. I feel like now. I'm so good there. I'm so comfortable there right now.
Yes.
Because like I said, some of our younger generation don't have access to the language. Like we just don't practice it enough. Either your parents came here or your grandparents came here and was like, nah, learn English because we're here now.
I used to tell my students, don't lose it.
Don't lose it. I tell everybody
please,
that.
Don't lose it.
Right. I'm like, whatever
I
you
wish
know.
I had my language, but I said, don't lose it. That's your identity.
Yeah.
Keep that. That's rich. And don't let that thing go.
And I just think anybody should learn
Yeah.
something else, or at least a little bit of whatever you have access to. You
That's
know, we're in
right.
California, like you can pick up a little bit of Spanish.
Right.
At least
My
say hi
friend
and
can
thank
speak
you.
it. He can
See?
speak it fluently.
Right.
He taught himself.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it's a matter of
And
like,
around the people that
practicing.
is
Right.
friends, but
Right. And so I do have access to the language. I feel like that helps to inform like the dance practice even more. That's where I feel like my role is.
yes, that was over here. That
like,
was just in my mind. I was like, I already know what it is. It's
like
the thing
I'm
that-
not right. I'm not the person teaching the dance. Like
Mhm.
I have experience in being in a classroom and in the dance classroom
Right.
to kind of guide that a little bit, but
Uh-huh.
that's definitely like their lane, their
Yes.
role. And me with the organizing experience, the curriculum building experience, I'm
Yes.
like, I can figure out how to sustain something like this. I can figure out how to make these cultural things that seem
Yeah,
like people don't necessarily understand or have access to, I can make it more attainable.
that's good.
You know,
Oh, we
like,
need you. Look, that's it. We need to all. Look, my brain is going already cuckoo. I already know. Woo! Go ahead.
yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
All right. So, wow. I'm grateful and thankful that you have tapped into Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational gospel music station, amongst others. The Eyes of the Conscious Soul brings to you every first Saturday of the month the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, Artist Talk, Why I Dream, She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask, and that is with my co-host,
Rosenity.
Yeah, baby. And every second Saturday of the month is the Medicine Hour with Mr. George Pearson. Every third Saturday of the month is Education is the Best Medicine, founder and producer of Education is the Best Medicine. Every fourth Saturday of the month, the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show with my co-host,
Rosenity.
all right, Kels, Prince of Hearts, the Doc, and the Voice. And every fifth Saturday of the month is called Voices That Care, and we highlight reentry and mental wellness. And I'm the host of that. I have other hosts too. But we want to thank you for tapping in. We want to thank you, my love, my beautiful
Yes,
sister,
yes.
my oh my God, for the village. I'm so excited because I done got so many downloads in here. I'm
too.
like, oh my, but that's the beauty. That's the beauty of dialogue. What you said, a conversation.
Collective dialogue.
Come on, collective dialogue. That is it. When you can do that, oh my God, to me, that's living.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what living is about. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Just quickly, if you
Yeah.
can help the people find you,
Yes.
social media, email, or whatever.
On social media, I'm most active on Instagram.
Okay.
It's my first name.
Okay.
I'm the only Rhummanee
Spell it
spelled
for
that
us.
way.
Spell it slow.
Slowly. It is RHU M like Mary, M like Mary, ANEE
Okay.
at Rhummanee.
At Rhummanee.
Yep.
All right. That is it. And oh my God. So community, we just want to say happy Black History Month. And it's 365 days in the month, along with all of our other ancestors and cultures.
Right.
So I just want to thank you all taking out time from your busy schedules to be here to pour back into community, because this is what it's about. We are here having live talk, lived experience. We ain't bull crapping around here. But the beauty of being able to be in space, in community, is a beautiful thing. And I'm so glad. And we were talking about reminiscing. I've been doing this for over 35 years. Underground radio starting off, and I was like, wow, where I've been through, the things I've been through with this and with others in my life. I know that the ancestors chose me to do what I'm doing. I always tell Rose and everybody is that my platform is your platform, and what we're supposed to do together, God's going to bring in alignment, and that's what I'm open to do. Always.
I believe that.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby. And that's what it's about. We have to work together. We have to collaborate. But again, thank you for tapping into the Eyes of the Conscious Soul. And we want to say goodnight. Be careful. Super Bowl tomorrow. Y'all have fun. Be careful too. But we want to thank you. Enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy just being able to breathe and knowing that you are here in your right frame of mind, that you, it may look like challenging. It may be challenging, but just reminisce and be grateful for the things that you already, you have. And that's your mind. And that's you.
Affirm people.
Come on.
Affirm people. It's free.
Please.
Try it.
Hey.
Say that again.
Affirm people. Give somebody an affirmation. It's free.
My God, it's
That's
free.
one of the best medicines.
Mhm.
Oh, that's the liberation in movement.
Mhm.
That's the move. Using your voice, using your tool
Yeah.
to say you are somebody.
Mhm.
We gotta do this. We have to, because our ancestors did it for us, and we owe them.
We owe them.
We owe them,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and that's why I do the work. Because it's like, they looking at, you owe me, sister. I'm like, yes, I do. I believe, I do. But thank y'all again, and we want to say good night.
Blessings.
Good night. Thank you.
Blessings. Yes.